let's just maybe 6 games in, even split between the two young goaltenders, a 20 and a 21-year-old. Probably not the way it was expected to be at the beginning of the season, but how are you seeing things through 6 games?
Yeah, I mean, we have the youngest combination of goalies here in the league, and it's been definitely not what we expected, with Kaapo getting claimed. But that's goaltending. That's kind of the message that we've sent to both Thomas last year and Dom this year, to both of them, is you got to be ready for anything, and you got to be ready when your name is called. And there's no kind of you had this or that, as there's no excuses. You're ready to go when your name's called, and Millie obviously did a heck of a job of that last year, and so far Dom is doing it this year. But yeah, they got to just stay in the moment, and that's my biggest message to them is, don't look ahead. There's pro hockey. When you look ahead and get comfortable, that's usually not a recipe for success.
In terms of Dom having to adjust his mindset, because I expect his mindset was similar to what Thomas's was I'll go to the ECHL, do what I need to do, and then work my way up to the AHL. Instead, he's here. So do you think that takes an adjustment, or he just has to, like you said, be in the moment and use every day as it is?
Yeah, I mean, he learned a lot of lessons last year in North Bay. It was a year of ups and downs. So he learned some really valuable lessons that are really helping him in this situation. My message ever since last season and, development camp this summer was we don't know what will happen, but you need to prepare yourself. And, Thomas basically lived out of a suitcase last year, and I didn't say that's what's happening to you, but you need to be ready for anything. So that could be a case, which is kind of, that's goaltending. I did that many times. So there's just such a shortage of jobs. They know that there's no entitlement to them right now. They are grateful for the moment, the opportunity, and they're just going to do everything that they can with that opportunity.
In terms of melding your message with the goalie coaches that they use in the summer, I talked to Thomas about that in August, and it's just that idea of philosophically, how do you guys all get on the same page? And he just said, you guys all work well together. But does that take a little bit of, not is it difficult, but just in terms of finding out, okay, this is his philosophy. How do we all work together so we can make sure this guy, whichever player it is going to be the best player for our organization?
Yeah, when we draft a goalie, so just like these two, my job is to get on that right away, to establish the relationship with those guys, and to kind of get on the same page. With both of their, goalie coaches back home, it was very easy. We were on the same page right away. Any recommendations that I had, it was never brought about with there was no fight back or anything. No arguments by any means. It was kind of some pretty obvious things. I know when we drafted Dom, mechanically there was some big changes to be made, and his goalie coach at home, his goalie coach in North Bay, they bought in right away, and so that made my job so much easier when I'm doing Zoom sessions or doing video with him in person in North Bay. That's I knew that I didn't have any pushback, in any of his people around him. So that's good. Same with Thomas. Thomas was different because we didn't have him for 2 years to, develop him. We drafted him and he turned pro. So I didn't have all that time, but, I have in the last 2 summers been in contact with his goalie coach and all that stuff.
Just in terms of the confidence that a guy like Dom can get from that 30-save performance, the win, being named first star, propelling him forward. Is that, again, it sounds redundant and kind of obvious, but what can that do for a young goaltender this early in his professional career?
Yeah, it's about getting comfortable at that level and knowing. So what I like right now is that he's playing with control. He's playing with structure, and that's what it's been pretty clear in the last 12 months for him that's when he has success. No different if it's the OHL, but it's kind of just more apparent here at this level. He's playing with control, and that's what's bringing him success. when he, at times he could in the past get overactive and kind of chase the play, and he's not doing that right now, and that's what's bringing success. So it's more solidifying the style of play that we want him to play, and he's having success with that style.
Last one for me, just in terms of like two young goaltenders, what benefit can there be? Because last year, Thomas talked about the benefit of having Colin Delia as a veteran, kind of teach him the ropes, kind of away from hockey, not necessarily what he's learning at the rink, but just being a professional player. What does that do for you, for two young guys to kind of, while they're pushing each other because they both want that net, what benefit can there be to have the two young players in the net?
Yeah, I mean, this wasn't the plan, so we're making the most of the situation, but I love the way that it is right now with these two. They're good friends. They support each other from day one. They've been very close. Right now we're going with basically a rotation right now, so they're supporting each other, and I know if that changes, if the rotation or whatever changes, I know they're going to be pros about it, and they get along, and they're there for each other. So I'm not worried about that whatsoever as far as their relationship.